Signore e signori,
dichiaro aperta la celebrazione Giochi Olimpici Invernali.
Si sta avvicinando allo stadio.
Forza, forza! Vai, 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 vai! Dal record della pista! Record della pista! Primo!
Buongiorno and welcome to Keep the Flame Alive's day -1 coverage of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympic Games. I am your host, Jill Jaracz, coming to you from Czechia House, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Alison Brown. Alison, como esta? Ciao.
Sta bene. That's the only way I know to respond to that question. So that's the only answer you're going to get. I'm going to have to pick up some more phrases.
Hopefully that will work out. I've got to learn how to say it in the right order, but we're still working on our setup here in Czechia House. It's a little tough.
It wasn't set up for us. Let's put it that way. We've had to make some adjustments, but we're working it out, and it's very comfortable. So we're going to make it work, and we're going to be happy. I do want to mention, I do sound nasally, and no, I'm not getting sick. I'm actually getting better. So I did not, this time around, get sick on the trip. I came with a little bit of a cold, so Italy is healing me, as you would expect.
Okay. Well, we have had a cultural experience today.
Italy, yet again, is healing me.
With cake. With
cake, because you know there is nothing that will make me feel better faster than cake.
So our friends at the Yes Milano City Press Center had a little event today to talk about the cake La Provvidenza, which is kind of a new creation of a restaurateur, so to speak. And he and his wife went to Vienna, and in Vienna you get the soccer torte, and he's like, why doesn't Milan have a cake? So he made one. Right,
and some people must say, but panettone, and actually we're going to talk about that in the newsletter today, why that is not the official cake of Milan. So we tried it. They had slices of it for us, and it was incredibly unique.
It was.
And like nothing else I had ever tasted, we kept trying to find things to compare to. You know, we're saying sticky toffee cake or spice cake or a cake brown, but it didn't taste like anything else. It was wonderful.
No. So thank you very much for that. They also talked about the city pins that are going to be out and about. So the Yes Milano office created a set of Milan neighborhood pins and then like distinctive Milan things like panettone. And there's going to be kind of a scavenger hunt throughout the games where people can go to certain locations and pick up pins. You can find that information at the Yes Milano office. We got gifted a pin.
A panettone pin.
Oh, I'm so excited to get that one. I did find a couple of the pins for sale in one of the stores, so I picked up a couple, and I'm not going to be able to do the scavenger hunt, I think.
Yes, because they reveal where the pins are at 8 in the morning, and then they start distributing them in a particular place at noon. And we did get the impression from one of the reporters that they were expecting a rush on this pin, that people are very excited about this scavenger hunt of the neighborhood pins. So I don't think we'll be beating down the doors of the stores. But maybe in our adventures, you never know. If we see a crowd yelling, pin, pin.
You just join.
We'll just join in. Why not?
Also cultural. Sad for some of you. We did not mean to have toilet talk this Olympics. We had toilet talk every day in Paris because the toilets were something. But we have a couple of situations that happened today. They will also be in the newsletter. We will save you listeners from toilet talk this games.
But if you want toilet talk, check out the newsletter. It's flamealivepod.substack.com, and I'll be throwing in some toilet talk for those that love it.
Exactly. And that is free. I know Substacks, some charge. We have a free Substack, and daily during the games. News from Czechia. So we are keeping tabs on things. All team Keep the Flame Alive. So if you are just finding us as a podcast, guests and listeners are part of what we call Team Keep the Flame Alive, but that does not acronym well. So if you put stan on the end, we got a country. So it's the country of Czechia. Czechia Aaron Jackson and Frank Del Duca will be Team USA's flag bearers. They were selected by their teammates. Jackson has become the 8th speed skater in U.S. history to earn the honor of Team USA flag bearer. And Frank Del Duca is Frankie, as the Milano Media Zone intranet system called him. He becomes the 6th bobsledder to carry the flag.
Very excited that we got them both.
It was so cool. Short track speed skater Corinne Stoddard will be sporting a Fox helmet, and her teammate Kristen Santos Griswold will be wearing a wolf helmet. Corinne said, "We had the idea of a dynamic duo. Her dogs look like wolves, and a fox is more similar to my dog, so we wanted to make that more obvious and draw the crowd's attention to us." So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
We'll get to check those out when we see them at short track, because short track is one of the sports we can see very easily here in Milan, which is great.
Yes. And a side note, perhaps one of the most interesting press releases we got, we get a lot of press releases every day from a number of national governing bodies, country teams, Milano Cortina, different tourism offices. But we got one that was a joint declaration between the UN Secretary General's Special Envoy for Road Safety, the Milano Cortina 2026 Organizing Committee, CONI, which is the Italy National Olympic Committee, and the Paralympic Committee from Italy, and the Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport, and the Ministry for Youth and Sport. And the joint declaration is to improve road safety.
I mean, you start wondering, what could all these people want to say to us at the same time? And it's, don't kill people on the streets.
Right. So road safety, improve awareness of safe driving practices, especially in the case of mass gatherings, tourism, and international events. And Milano Cortina 2026 is the first Olympic Organizing Committee to organize a safe driving course for 3,000 drivers.
You know, I have to say, I have not noticed crazy driving here. You know, we've been walking around quite a lot in several different neighborhoods, and I haven't noticed a problem. But it must be if they're creating this program. I mean, every city has a problem.
Right.
Every city, there's always safety. But I've felt more at risk in many other places, Paris being one of them.
So I don't know. Maybe it's the highways. We'll see once we start getting out in the open. But the ministries and CONI and the Paralympic Committee intend to continue this training after the games as a legacy. So we're bringing back a beloved segment from past games. This is what officiating or volunteer job would we want to do? What do you choose? We did go to a sport today.
Yes, and I think you chose the same one that I did because I want to be wheelbarrow man.
I got the other one then.
Okay, because so during the games, during the hockey game, they did a human Zamboni bit in between, during the period. So they would have a power break to clean up the ice a little bit, and about 6 or 7 skaters would go out and smooth out the ice, but also scoop up all the snow and push it to the exit. And then they would scoop all the snow into a wheelbarrow. And this man would just stand there with his wheelbarrow and then roll away with all the snow.
Right. And we couldn't, that was kind of directly below us, the wheelbarrow. But before the wheelbarrow, when the power break, skaters shovel their snow and ice over to the edge of the rink, the door, and there's a couple of volunteers there who squeegee it off the ice totally so that the other shovelers can scoop it into the wheelbarrow. And I would take squeegee.
Okay. We're a team here.
So before we get to today's results, we'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who donated to our fundraiser to get us here. If you just found us, we are doing 32 daily episodes from Milano Cortina over the course of the games, which is expensive to produce. And we are also one of the few podcasts to publish episodes year-round. A few Olympics and Paralympics podcasts. Let's caveat that. And we need help in keeping our flame alive, particularly this year as our trademark registration is up and lawyer fees are expensive. And if you don't know about our trademark situation, go back to like early 2020 and you'll find out the fun story, how we almost got shut down. So we have options for one-off donations and ongoing donations at flamealivepod.com support. If you are an ongoing patron, we offer special patron-only exclusives throughout the games. All paid patrons get an exclusive photo of the day. Silver medalists and up also get video, and gold members and up get extra audio content. If you appreciate the independent voice we bring, please consider supporting us today. That is flamealivepod.com/support. All right, we got results.
More importantly, we have the Italians curling. So this morning, the mixed doubles curling started yesterday. There was only one session, so not all the teams curled, one of which was the Italians. And then this morning I woke up, first thing I got to do was turn on the television and see Amos Mosner curling, and he shaved his head.
That was amazing.
That was fantastic. He looks as if he could not look more fabulous. He does, in fact, look more fabulous. So I got to enjoy Constantini and Mosner as I did 4 years ago. I have not fallen out of love with them, and they had a fantastic day, so I'm not going to complain.
And you got to watch Mosner in bed, so that's not bad either.
Not a bad way to start your day, let me tell you.
So we had like 3 sessions of mixed doubles round robin curling today. We had some commanding wins, a couple of very close matches, but after session 4 of round robin play, standings are Canada and Great Britain on top at 3-0, then followed by the USA, who is 2-0. Switzerland and Sweden are both 2-1. Italy is 1-1. Estonia is 1-2, and Czechia, Korea, and Norway are 0-3. I'm surprised about Norway.
Yeah, Norway, I believe, was a silver medalist in Beijing, so this is a really rough start for them.
Then we had some hockey, so we had something going on in Milano.
So we got to go to a hockey game, which was great fun, but there were a couple of games before we got there.
Yes, so it started off, Sweden beat Germany 4-1, Italy beat France 7-2, which I saw a little of this on when we were in the Yes Milano office having cake, and Italy was going gangbusters.
And the Italian fans were riding right where with them. They were really enjoying themselves watching that game.
Exactly. And then we made it to middle of second period for USA versus Czechia. Let's talk about the arena.
Okay, so it's not an arena, first of all. It's a convention center section that they have converted into an arena, which makes sense in the sense of you need 3 or 4 ice skating rinks for an Olympics. No one city could possibly support that many ice arenas, so having a temporary arena makes sense.
Well, let's talk about the convention center because this is Fiera, Milano, and it's not just a convention center, it's a convention center on steroids. I think WADA should come in here for that center because it's not just a hall, it's like 20 halls.
It is a convention center complex. You could have multiple conventions going on at the same time. So we mapped it from the subway stop that is for the convention center to the actual place, the building that is the temporary ice rink. It's 3/4 of a mile. And that's just walking through the convention center.
Yeah.
That whole 3/4 of a mile.
It just never ended. And there were moving walkways.
Some moved.
Yeah. But and getting out of the metro was actually quite a long walk as well. So you're talking about close to a mile here till you get to both the ice hockey and the speed skating rink because they are kind of across from each other. So it is a hall. There's a store on the way. There are a couple of restaurants on the way too.
Which you may need to fortify yourself on this walk.
This is absolutely we built this rink. And it is in the middle of a concrete convention hall, and to keep the cold in, I'm assuming, there is a floor-to-ceiling surround of the rink and the stands, black, heavy plastic tarp.
It looks like black garbage bags in sheeting form hung up around, and the entrances are created by cutting slats like a car wash into the arena. And that's how they presented their ice skating arena. There's some signage, there's some draping, but they could have done so much more to make it less garbage bag looking.
Yeah, it looks pretty junky. Because where we went in was all garbage bag. We had to walk around to see banners, but where we also went in was like where the Corona Hut is and another couple of concession stands. So people do see this lackluster. You gotta come inside the garbage bag, little kids.
And we got to experience our first set of janky stairs.
Yes. That go up and down.
That go up and down and all around. And we had to do the up and down and all around to get to the press tribune, as per usual. But at least it was well marked, and there were volunteers who pointed us in the correct direction. The volunteers, by the way, we haven't commented yet so far, have been really A+, really top notch.
Shout out to Marco, who answered some weird questions for me today, one of which will be in Toilet Talk.
So we have been really lucky so far. So our first experience at a venue, we found the venue media center very easily. We found the press tribune very easily. We found our door pretty easily. And amazingly, it wasn't in the back alley. It was just downstairs from the main entrance. So awesome. That was pretty sweet. But we were inside a garbage bag.
We were inside a garbage bag. And
small.
Yeah, the arena is really small. It's like they didn't think people wanted to come out and watch women's hockey. And I don't know what the crowds were like for the earlier matches, but this one was almost full on day one. And granted, it's USA, and there are a ton of USA fans here, but there were a good number of Czech fans as well. They had flags with names on them.
Yes, and as we saw the Italian game on television, it looked pretty full. I mean, the Italian team is playing, so you didn't think that people were going to want to come and cheer the Italian team?
Yeah, I know. Like this is one of those we're going to discover what hockey is, but really only a few thousand people fit in this arena, and it's really low because of the convention center ceiling. So it just feels.
It felt a bit like a college. Even not, I'm being generous calling it a college arena size. Yeah. It was more like a high school arena size. Yeah. It was small.
Yeah, it was not. It was depressing, to be quite honest, because the quality of play is
outstanding.
It deserves better. It deserves more. The audience got a treat tonight because Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio were in attendance.
So all of a sudden, by the press tribune, there were all these men in black suits that just sort of swarmed in, and you noticed and said, oh, somebody's here.
Because I noticed many camera people with their cameras pointed at the stands, and I was like, who's here? And I saw a blonde woman, and I thought, is that Kirsty Coventry? Because we couldn't quite see it. They were maybe 20 feet away from us and a couple of rows down, but it's packed. The press tribune was packed. We were lucky to get seats. Don't even think about a table. We've learned a thing or two about timing your entry for this, but yeah, all of a sudden we realized that we were in the presence of the vice president,
who was there for about 10 minutes,
probably.
So this was definitely a show up, get your picture taken,
right,
leave.
But I am happy to say that our Shukflastani, Rory Gilday, got to play today, and I talked to her a little bit, just for a couple seconds, in the mix zone afterwards, and she was thrilled to have made the team. And our friend Nick Zaccardi wrote a really good article about her, so we'll link to that in the show notes. And the U.S. was dominating, basically.
It was a very physical game. I mean, I do love a chippy hockey match, this got a little personal.
You think?
I thought it got a little more physical. The refs were having some chats.
Oh, they
with
were.
with several players, so I think it was getting a little beyond the chippy.
Which you wouldn't think when you look at the final score, which was USA 5, Czech 1. I am looking forward to going to other hockey games because there was a goal song for each team.
Yes, the U.S. had Freebird. So every time the U.S. scored, they played Freebird. They played a different song when Czechia scored. I don't know if that was a Czech song. It was like boom, boom, boom. Literally, I don't quite know any of the other lyrics, so I wasn't sure if it was Italian or if it was Czech. But people seem to know the song in the arena, and I don't know if that was because we did have a significant number of Czech fans.
Could be. I'm looking forward to hearing what other songs are.
What do you think Canada's is?
I don't know. Tragically Hip? I don't know.
Some Bryan Adams, maybe?
We'll find out. They're trying. If you want to know about ambiance, they are trying with the ambiance.
I think it's one of those, this was early days. I think if we go back, well, we will go back next week. I think we will see the fans will get it, how this arena is going to work and be into it a little bit more. I mean, and this crowd was pretty hyped, but I could see them sort of feeling it out.
Yeah. So we had a hostess, and we had a DJ, and they would be like quizzes here and there on the Jumbotron, and then they would do the fan cam type stuff. But they did do a please strike a pose, and they wanted you to strike an ice skating pose.
And people did not understand this.
Yeah.
Until they got to the last guy who sort of did ballerina things, which they considered close enough and got really excited.
Yeah. So, don't know. And then we had the U.S. guy who lifted up a shirt for everyone.
You know, there's always got to be one in every crowd. But it was appreciated. He got the biggest roar of the crowd.
Well, yeah, because, you got to learn how to do goofy stuff. So.
You got to do what you got to do when you're at a hockey match.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of hockey match, there was supposed to be a fourth hockey game. And it was canceled for the worst possible reason. So it was supposed to be Finland versus Canada. Apparently, several players on the Finnish team are down with norovirus.
I cannot imagine how, A, that's not fun to go through, but B, the fact that a chunk of your team is under the weather, and what does that mean going forward?
So this game has been rescheduled for February 12th, which was supposed to be an off day for the tournament at the end of the group stage. So we'll see if the Finns can come back with a full team and, safely skate. It's funny. One of my daughter's friends texted me and said, be careful if you're going to women's hockey, norovirus is going around. So I was safely at a distance from the players. I think I was okay.
We also had some snowboarding tonight. It was big air qualification for the men, and 12 competitors qualified through to the finals. 12 competitors qualified through to the finals. They are led by Hiroto Ogiwara from Japan. He's qualified in first place, followed by Ian Matteole from Italy and Akira Kimura from Japan.
Oh, the Italians must be thrilled about this.
I bet they are. And for those of you in Cleveland who follow Red Gerard, who is a hometown hero, even though he left Cleveland like when he was 7, he moved out to Colorado to do snowboarding. He was the 2018 gold medalist. He's in his third Olympics. He finished 20th in this and did not move on to the final. And that is it for competition today.
I know, short and sweet, but we're getting warmed up. This is like a little taste to get us ready. Not a taste of norovirus, please.
That's right. But we have shout outs.
Yes, we have Shuklastani Sean Callahan from Norwood, Massachusetts.
And that is, Sean is a Cortina.
Yes.
So when we did our fundraiser, we asked if you were a Milano or a Cortina.
Yes.
And
so Milanos are more city people. They like fancy clothes and fancy food, and they like to get dressed up. And Cortinas are mountain people, and they like a good cozy sweater and going skiing and things like that.
Yesterday, we forgot to mention about our listener, Peter. Peter, he is a Milano. So we have a little rivalry going on within Czechia as we speak.
We welcome all kinds.
Right. So, Sean, there are no Callahan Olympians, but there are Seans.
I'm surprised there's no Callahans.
Well, Winter Olympians.
Okay.
I'm trying to narrow it down to just winter.
Okay.
Since we are at a Winter Games. But there are plenty of Seans, like our own Sean Doherty, biathlete, Czechia. Another Sean to cheer for is American Sean Fitzsimons, who is competing in snow big air and slope style. Well, he was competing in big air because he finished 25th, so he didn't make it through to the finals.
But slope style.
You do have a Sean to cheer for. And we also have mascots.
Yes. So Jill got a mascot for the whole games, and that is Abby, the sweetest looking cat from listener Charlotte. So we'll be giving you little bits and pieces about her throughout and some pictures that you can look for. But she is gorgeous.
She's a sweetie. And that's going to do it for this episode. If you want even more of the most fun coverage of the games, we have options.
Yes, you can get on our Facebook group, Keep the Flame Alive Podcast. As we mentioned, our Substack newsletter is flamealivepod.substack.com. We're on Insta, X, Facebook, and YouTube at Flame Alive Pod. And you can always help us out on Patreon, flamealivepod.com/support.
And we do love hearing from you as well. You can hit us up. You can hit us up on our social channels, email us at flamealivepod@gmail.com, send us a voice memo, or call our voicemail line at 208-FLAME-IT. That's 208-352-6348. We may read your note or play your voicemail on the show. And tomorrow, it all starts.
Opening ceremony.
Oh, we are so excited.
We'll both be there.
Yes. I will be there as a fan.
And I will be there in the media tribune. So we'll see how our experiences compare.
Exactly. So, and there's some more competition in the morning before the show gets started.
Yes, we have team competition starting in figure skating.
Very much to look forward to.
It's a busy day.
All right. So we will get some sleep. You do as well. Grazie mille per l'ascolto.
And until next time, ciao and keep the flame alive.